Hey guys, welcome to another English commentary done by Diggity. This match is going to be between Much and Saint, the losers match of Group 3 in MST Season 3. This is the fourth set, the losers group. Unfortunately, yeah, spoiler, if you haven't already seen the first two games, they're on my account already. I assume that a lot of you have seen them. Had a pretty good viewer hit. Thanks guys for watching. I do this for you. Do it for you. 12 o'clock position, it looks like we have Saint starting in red. And he got handily defeated by Gogo, honestly. I'm not sure if it was a positioning of the Marines or if it was focus firing just right on Gogo's beautiful reflexes. If other Terrans just don't attempt to focus fire the Mutalisks or what, but Gogo able to take out a lot of Saint's Mutalisks off the 2-hatch without really much effort. I think it was a part of it is on the approach, is with those Mutalisks you need to make sure that you're not running into a wall of Marines. You're just picking off kind of the exterior. Gogo kind of pushing into it and taking out Mutalisks one at a time and just devastating Saint, just running him over. Much on the opposite side, I don't think his loss was as big of a... It wasn't so much Baby winning it, it was kind of Baby just playing the map in my opinion, and Much not doing what he needed to do to win the game. Anyway, this is going to be on Destination. And it's between Zerg and Protoss, I think it's just about even. I think, though, just in theory, this is my theory crafting here as a not spectacular player, I think it tends to favor Zerg just because, well, actually no, I'm going to say it favors Protoss. I'm going to recant, I should say, and I'm going to say it favors Protoss. It's odd because you have that backside mineral only expansion that you can take, so it almost behaves like Andromeda in that regard, which is semi-easy to defend. It's still vulnerable, I think, to mobile units like Mutalisks and things like that. But at the same time, you have those ramps in the middle, and good for lurkers, good for Psystorm. But really the key to this game is not so much the 3 expansions inside the base, it's the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock expansions outside of the base. And when those expansions come to play is really when I think this map is decided. It's whoever has map control at that stage. And I think that favors Zerg a little bit just because of the way it's kind of laid out. I think he can, as long as you're in position as a Zerg player, I think you're good to go. If you can just absorb a little bit of storms, do a little bit of dodging, because if you can manage to block off, particularly the 9 o'clock expansion from Much's position and the 3 o'clock position, the 9 o'clock from blanking here, the 9 o'clock from Saint's position, the 3 o'clock from Much's position. If you can manage to really block out those expansions, there's nothing that the opposing player can do. He can't really reinforce. Reinforcement's a big problem on this map in general, even on the back mineral only expansion. Because of that, there's a ramp that loops all the way around. So once you take that second expansion, even that mineral only, you're starting to run into problems. Saint's going to get a couple hits on his Overlord right there. Zergling streaming down. I think seeing that expansion going up, Much is going to have a good idea that he's going against an overpool rather than something else. So is safe going with that single cannon into expansion. And we'll see if he looks like he's setting up to put a gateway in. Yeah, he's going to put a gateway in a way to make sure that the cannon will be up no matter what. The Zergling still might be able to run by. However, that gateway will be in the way in time, and that second cannon should be up to protect that mineral line. And it's nice positioning too, because it looks like it's going to assist should Mutalisks come into play in an immediate second expansion from Saint, immediately taking the 3 o'clock. Or the upper 3 o'clock, it's the lower 3 o'clock that's going to matter for Much, in my opinion. And bringing those Zerglings back, going to try to hunt that Probe Scout down, see if that Probe Scout manages to cycle around to the 3 o'clock expansion. So looks like we're going to see a pretty heavy expansion, or a pretty heavy, what's the word I'm looking for, macro game from Saint. He's going to go very, very economical, not even putting down his gas at this stage. Just sticking with Zerglings here, so... Looks like Much is going to be able to come across that 3 o'clock. We'll see how he decides to react to it. Honestly, I don't know that he's really good. He's going to have to tech as quickly as possible, because basically I think Saint's game in this is let me just take expansions quickly, mass up, and force Much to come to me, basically, and have a superior unit count, force Much to try to deliver economic damage. He's already got that Zergling blockade. He's at least going to be able to deny tech. Looks like we're seeing another hatchery going down, now the gas going down, so we're going to see a shift into the probably 4 or 5 hatch Hydra, probably 5 hatch Hydra, and he's going to be able to sustain that for a very long time. He's going to have 3 gas. He has the option of pushing up 2 Hive. If he really just wants to outlast Much, he can in fact do that. If he just wants to have the large production of the Hydralisks into the mid game, he'll also have that option. Now transferring drones to gas. A little bit delayed, and we'll see if maybe Much can get that probe all the way around and kind of sneak it in. He's still kind of examining. He wants to get kind of an idea of the drone count there at the 3 o'clock location, see if there's actually any mining out. And you see, that's pretty good. That's a good 6 drones there at that secondary. The question is really when Saint decides to kick it in, and if Much decides to put up any pressure. Much in the meantime get a look in his base. He's already got that Stargate, that Citadel going up. Not going to be able to commit to tech until he has a good idea of what's going on the opposite end. And honestly, I think that if he really wanted to, he could have put down a Spire, because he does have that 3 gas, and still shifted into Hydralisk, although Much would have gotten a good look at each of the expansions. So anyway, Cybernetics Core also down. And we'll see what Much decides. I think it's a lot of it, this is going to decide on Much here, because I think Saint is just going to kind of hang out, probably just brunt a bunch of forces, and then again it's going to be up to Much to do something. And I think the way he's going to have to get this done is either storm drops or something along those lines. Ooh, looks like we're going to see, the Hydralisk Den, quick tech to lair, and an evolution chamber, so going to try to hold the upgrade battle and try to win it that way. There's the Templar archives. I would assume that's less for Dark Templar and more for Psystorm, and we'll see if a robotics facility goes down in tandem. Usually going against a Zerg like who's just powering up in a big economy like this, you want to try to tech up and try to equalize the advantage that way. At the very least, Much is going to have to do some form of economic damage. There is no Overlord though at the 9 o'clock, so if a Dark Templar, or at the 3 o'clock, I'm sorry, so if a Dark Templar did manage to meander into that area, might have some success. There's also no Hydralisks to do any protection there as well. There's the Overlord actually, so no an Overlord being put there, but there's no defense there, and it looks like an Overlord just going to hang out there and get caught out in the open, so Corsair is going to be able to draw some blood. 3 cannons down at the secondary, and still no indication from Much how he's going to respond to this pretty big economy. Keep in mind there's still that expansion, that mineral only in the back of Saint's base. Saint, now the question is when does Saint decide to push a lot of his troops forward? 2 more gateways going down, and it doesn't look like we're seeing a robotics facility, so completely ignore me. But yeah, I'm kind of curious when we're going to see basically the move out. Looks like our Sunken Colony is kind of expecting a push out now of troops, and oh man, all sorts of gateways going down. So a full grouping of gateways. Looks like a Dark Templar being produced. Much is not going to wait. Honestly, even with this amount of gateways, and it looks like he is going to get some free Zergling kills, Saint just letting these Zerglings get picked off. This is a huge blunder. Not just a blunder, but it's really going to cost him. He wants to preserve as many units as possible. The thing is for Much, is going against this 5-hatch Hydra, even putting down this amount of gateways, I don't know that he's... If the question is when Saint cycles it, he hasn't shifted into big unit production at this stage, but once he starts shifting, I don't know that he's going to be able to keep up, really. And I think he's going to end up starving himself out in the long run. Maybe those Dark Templar will be able to do enough economic damage to really equalize things, especially if they can brush those Hydralisks away and give Corsairs a shot at that front door. He might just try to suicide in, and he's going to push in now. He's got those Corsairs working on a very nice combo attack here. The drone's trying to back off. Looks like those ults are going to get taken care of, and this is a little bit of a micro battle. One Overlord has been taken out. No, I'm sorry, is going to get taken out, but there's a second Overlord nearby. So 2 Overlords in position. Saint already predicting it, already in a pretty good position, but Much feeling like he's established enough blood, and I think he's just expanding in the dark, honestly. He's hoping this isn't going to spot it out, and it does get spotted out, unfortunately. Much reacting very well, though. He's just going to try to pop little, go out of the range of that Zergling, make sure it doesn't get spotted, try to get some cannons down, and try to take that expansion anyway. However, Saint can just basically run into that if he feels like it. Another hatchery going down now. If he decides to stop that, there's nothing Much can really do about it, and he's going to have the Carapace over weapons upgrade advantage, I believe. I think he'd managed to get that down a little bit sooner. Now we're seeing that robotics facility, I would assume in preparation, one for observers to deal with the lurkers, but also and potential for drops. A little bit of map control still out there because of that, it looks like speed upgrade in the Overlords. That's definitely not going to help Much's cause. But Saint, yeah, actually in a really good position in this game. Honestly, he can afford to expand if he wants to. He has map control. This is that stage I'm talking about, which is crucial, where if you have map control, it pays big rewards. And right now, Much has managed to get a couple troops across the area. They're not in really any concentrated group, though, and I don't know that he's really going to be able to claim any expansions if Saint decides to push them. The one thing that Saint is not doing, though, is even though he has a sizable unit advantage, I would say, look at all these Hydralisks out in the field, he's not pushing up and doing any contain across any of the ramps, and it looks like he's trying to do kind of a two-position thing here with the Hydralisk. Those Zealots are speed upgraded. Looks like they do have weapons. One getting caught out of position. Much is just going to have to retreat, and this is what I'm talking about. Much is going to have to pull back, see what he can do. Looks like that Archon actually taking a lot of damage. Weapons 1 is upgraded. Much, this is great. He's just kind of slowly pushing in, creating some distractions to try to secure an expansion at the 9 o'clock position, and that is really going to keep him in this game. And this is where Saint, his strategy is failing a little bit here. Having a lot of these Hydralisks in the field, he needs to make sure that that 9 o'clock position doesn't go up. Otherwise, a lot of this is for naught, and those cannons are definitely going to be a big factor in that. He thinks that Zergling's going to stop that.